morning, friends. How is everyone on this fine Saturday? We're going to make some medicine. Do you get urinary tract infections? Well, we've got something for that. And this is the best time of year to make it because it's so plentiful. This is harder to make in the wintertime, so we got to think about doing it now. You can make this yourself and have plenty of it in your apothecary so that you don't experience UTIs. But first, I'm going to get my tinctures done. I'm a little bit on the anxious side today, like anxiety, and I don't want to take my anxiety tincture right now. I'm going to go with because I'm just in the mood for a nice cup of tea that can help calm, soothe. So that's what we're going to do today, right now. So let's put this down a little bit if I can. This is a different phone placer. I just don't want you guys to fall. There we go. All right, so we're going to make a tea. These are really nice when you're using loose leaf tea. I have some what's left until my chamomile fully dries. Hello! How are you doing? So we've got some chamomile flowers, which is calming. And that's what I'm looking for, is a calmness. So we're going to put some of those in there. I'm also going to use lemon balm. Lemon balm is an adaptogen. Good morning, Krista. And it also, with lemon balm, if you take it regularly, good morning, Shirley. When you take lemon balm regularly, it also not only is an adaptogen, but it can help with those electrical impulses that trigger heart palpitations. So a lot of times when you're experiencing, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to tell you what I've experienced. A lot of time those heart palpitations could be lack of magnesium, lack of potassium. That's why I'm always preaching about mineral health. And it could be that you're missing the adaptogens within herbs. And so that's why I've chosen lemon balm. I also have lemon balm in my heart health tincture, along with 4 other great herbs, like motherwort, which is the heart herb. It's very good for your heart, strengthens the muscles. It can help with your blood pressure, just overall heart. It has soursop leaves in there, which is wonderful for heart health, among other things. Soursop leaves are just great for your all-over health. It also has holy basil, which is wonderful for your health. Hawthorn berries are also very good, and it includes that. But we're just going to have a tea here. But it's time for me to take my tinctures. Hi, sweet pea! But what we are going to make after I get done with this, and all my tinctures are about at the end, so I'm just going to empty bottles here. This is my mushroom 7 different mushrooms in this tincture. Gives you energy. It's good for brain fog. It has lion's mane, turkey tail, reishi mushrooms. It has shiitake, maitake, chaga. What did I forget? There's 7 of them. Grow a lot of them here on site. It's wonderful. Cordyceps. It has cordyceps in there. Cordyceps are actually used by athletes for endurance and stamina. So this tincture gives you a boost and you feel energized, but it's not a spike and then a drop. It's an even keel throughout the day, and it really does give you that endurance. This here is a mineral tincture. As I was mentioning about minerals, it has the full 102 minerals that your body needs. And again, I preach about mineral health all the time, because if your minerals are low, let's say you're low on silica or copper, your body's going to say, we don't have enough of that. And your hair needs silica. It needs the copper. So your body knows hair's not a necessity. You need that silica for, let's say, your liver. So it's going to take away. You might start noticing hair loss. So mineral health is really, really important. Do I make, everything that I'm putting in here, I make, sweetheart. Yes, I do. This is the lymph and liver I'm going to take. This is good for your lymphatic system. It's good for your liver. I'm about out, so we're just going to dump that in there. Just like one dropper in there left. So I'm going to have to restock my plentifuls. Speaking of the heart that I was talking about, the heart tincture has those 5 great herbs in there. I love this. You can tell that I'm diligent every day taking these. And guys, I'm 57 years old. It's so hard to believe I'm 57. Where in the hell did the time go? Barberry and black seed. We all know how good black seed is for you, but I've taken it up a notch in this tincture. It has barberries in it also. But what are barberries good for? Barberries are wonderful for diabetes, which I am not a diabetic, but diabetes runs rampant in my family, and I want to be preventative on that. Heart disease also runs in my family, so barberries also help remove the plaque from your veins and arteries, which is wonderful. Blood pressure, heart health, cholesterol, you know. Oh, did he pass away? I didn't hear that. I saw him in concert probably about 4 times. And every time I was on a beach. So I'm out of my barberry too. My shop, this has only been on the shelves. Oh, that's sad. This barberry and black seed tincture has only been on my shelves for 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm sold out already. And I've used mine too. So I am straining this probably tomorrow. It will be back on the shelves. It's wonderful. You get the black seed, you get stinging milk thistle in there too. I mean, it's just wonderful. So many benefits. Guys, I can't speak enough about turmeric. Joints hurt? Do you have arthritis? Do you have just inflammation that causes pain in your body? Guys, and you can tell it's just been used a lot. It's dripped down the sides. This is turmeric. It has the pepperine, which I have been able to freeze the active ingredient in the pepperine when it's first made, so it stays active in the tincture. But I also included fenugreek. Fenugreek also helps the turmeric penetrate your cell walls. That's why you need pepperine with it, because it won't absorb as well. So not only do you have the pepperine, but I've included fenugreek in this. So you're definitely getting that penetration of, and look at that. That is your curcumin, guys. And I need this. I ripped all the tendons and the ligaments and the cartilage in my knee 37 years ago. They told me then I was going to have a knee replacement. Here we are 37 years ago. My knee does hurt. I'm overweight. My poor knee's probably saying, help me get the weight off. Which I know. I need to do that. But it helps with the inflammation, because there are times, based upon weather, I might just move the wrong way. It'll swell. This helps keep that at bay. It's wonderful. All right, so those are my tinctures. I've got a nice herbal tea of chamomile, and we've got some lemon balm in there. I could add some stevia for sweetness. If you do not use stevia leaves for sweetening, that is your best option, especially for those of you who are diabetics. Don't, Monk fruit's good. But honestly, if you can sweeten things naturally with stevia leaves, pre-processed, because they add things into that aren't good for us. If you can use the stevia leaves for sweetening, you can even grind them down if you needed to. It'd be wonderful for you. All right, friends, what are we making? I have on here as my header, we're making a tincture today, and we sure are. This is for urinary tract infections. It's good for bladder infections. It is good for helping a fatty liver. Hold on there, I had a phone call come in. It's good for, and I can't express how good it is for your urethra help. Prostate, it's good for prostate also. But you want to make sure that when you are choosing your item here, and it's corn silk, you want to make sure that it's organic, okay? No spraying with glyphosate, anything like that. By the way, that's just a poison. It's in Roundup, but the FDA allows them to spray corn, wheat, barley, all that stuff with it because it's a pesticide. It keeps the bugs from eating it, but in turn, we're ingesting it. It's just not a good thing. So we grow our corn, and oh my God, we've got so much corn to do today. We're doing so much corn. Tomorrow we're canning green beans. I've got a half a bushel of green beans to can tomorrow, but I'm bringing you guys along. Yes, this is corn silk. Now, corn silk, as I mentioned, it's been used by Native Americans, our ancestors. Chinese medicine uses it for just that. UTIs, kidney health. This area, we don't want that. We're going to cut that off, and we're just going to toss it. So any imperfections you see, just get rid of them. Now, do we need to cut this down into smaller pieces as sometimes we do with other herbs? I don't. The reason being, it's a very thin, you guys know what corn silk is. It's messy, it's annoying, it sticks to everything. The alcohol will penetrate this without issue. So you don't need to really worry about your surface area being less. Your main concern is, number one, good morning, Miss Cantrell. Your biggest concern is removing the imperfections, and most importantly, you want an organic raised corn. So with that being said, from here, it's so easy. You just remove those imperfections, get rid of them. We're going to put this in a jar. We're going to add our high-proof menstruum. So as always, I normally use 100 proof. We're making a corn silk tincture. It is good for urinary tract infections. It's good for the prostate. It's good for urethra help. It can also help remove, help deal with and remove a fatty liver. A fatty liver will raise your liver enzymes. And so if you've ever gone to the doctor, if you're on medication, the doctor will say, hey, you need to come in and we need to check your blood work. Well, that blood work is so that they can see how that medicine is affecting your liver. If you start having elevated liver enzymes, and because I'm only doing a quart jar right now, I am going to cut these. And you just stuff them in your... But your liver enzymes raise up, like if you're on a cholesterol medicine, if you're on blood pressure medicine, your liver enzymes are going to raise. What does that mean? Your liver's having a hard time. Because everything that we ingest has to go through the liver. That includes your air. That includes what you drink. Everything hits the liver. Your liver cleans everything. Cleans your blood. So with that being said, well, thank you very much, ma'am. That was sweet. Good morning, Anna Banana. We're making a corn silk tincture. This is good for your liver. I'll repeat everything. But so your liver enzymes get raised up. That means your liver is struggling. We need to help the liver, and you can do this naturally. And it's best to do it before you start having those raised liver enzymes. A fatty liver. So a non-alcoholic fatty liver is due to being overweight. I have a fatty liver. So this is one of the things that I do like to implement. I don't take this daily. I take a corn, and I've been out of it because summertime is the only time to really take, to make a corn silk tincture. And in the past, I have not made enough for my own personal use. We grew a lot of corn this year, so we're going to have the benefits of having more stock of the liver tincture, of the corn silk tincture. Yes, a non-alcoholic fatty liver, it's just showing that your liver's struggling. And usually if you have abdomen fat, odds are, if your liver enzymes aren't elevated and you continue to stay status quo, yeah, you could honestly see that fatty liver starting to happen. But the corn silk not only helps with the fatty liver, it also helps with urinary tract infections. Caution for anybody though. Anyone who is on a blood thinner should not take this, because corn silk is a blood clotter. If you are on a blood thinner, your body already clots blood well enough, and too well. That's why you're on a thinner. Airline Barbie, Cindy Lou Who. Girl, where have you been? I have missed you. I thought I was going to have to fire you. I thought you were going to be on the fire list. I haven't seen you. I hope you're doing good. We're making a corn silk tincture. We're kind of discussing the benefits of it right now. But blood thinners, you don't want to take this because it will help clot the blood. If you are pregnant and nursing, you should be cautious on this. Children, yes, they could take this, especially if you made it in a glyceride form. And with everyone, you don't want to take a lot of it multiple times a day unless you're having a urinary tract infection. Country house. Ooh, la-ti-da. Good for you. How fun. I am limited on how much high-proof alcohol I have here, so I'm going to have to go out today and get some more. So again, we're just taking off those imperfections off of your corn silk, organically grown, nothing added to that. This is so, so important. Remove the imperfections. When I say imperfections, I'm talking about the tips, the tassels that get that brownness. And that's normal. That's from sun. It's drying out. It's just a normal process of the corn silk. But it's very light and fluffy. Depending on your jar, if I was putting this into a gallon jar, I wouldn't worry about cutting it. But I do have only a quart jar right now, so I am cutting it just to get it all in there. You could stuff it in there if you wanted to. It's something you can do. Prostate health. It helps prostate health. It is good for urinary tract infections, as I had mentioned. Bladder issues. So you've really got a good mixer. It's a diuretic, so it's also going to boost your lymphatic system also on removing excess fluids out of the body. And what does your lymphatic system do? Your lymphatic system is basically your waste removal system in regards to fluids. Your lymphatic system removes fluids out of muscles, out of your blood, tissues. It's an overall waste management system. So if you start noticing water retention, edema, so edema is when a good area to check it out is, like, say, on your ankles. Like, you take your ankle and you press into it, you know what I mean? And you leave an indentation. You've got water retention. You're not filtering out that water. What are some things you need to do? Well, depending on if you have any diagnosis, what your current medical state is, but let's just say you're not on dialysis, you're not on anything like that. You're not limited to your water intake if you have diabetes really bad and you need to watch out your fluid consumption and intake, things like that. If you don't have those issues and you have water retention, what I do, it happens to me in the summertime. Just the heat, maybe you're not hydrating yourself enough, you're not drinking enough water, your body is going to protect yourself. It's going to keep fluid in there. So lemon water, natural diuretic. Lemon water is wonderful to drink. Actually, if you can swig down some lemon water first thing before you do anything and when you wake up, that's wonderful. That's the chef's kiss right there. But lemon water is very good. But when it comes to your lymphatic system and retaining water, even if you are doing a lemon water, number one, you want to make sure you hydrate yourself. You want to keep them kidneys up to par. This would do well on kidney health, for the lymphatic system, to keep it. Hi, Lisa. I'm in Ohio also. I'm in central Ohio, right in the middle of the world of Ohio. So I'm definitely going to have to get a larger vessel, a larger jar, because we're already good on this one. But as I mentioned, I'm actually limited on my amount of menstruum. So you didn't know that about what, Sweet Pea? Diverticulitis. You may I'm not sure what you mean here, Lisa. Only in Ohio. That is true. You really didn't know it. Just had gallbladder, sister. Oh yeah, I'm in Ohio, Sweet Pea. You just had a gallbladder surgery too. Will that help with tummy issues? Did you have your gallbladder removed? Is that what you're saying? I'm assuming that's usually the only thing they do with it. Gallbladders. Gallbladders are not necessary to have a good quality of life. Gallbladders definitely do serve their purpose. So let's talk about the gallbladder. I know there's a lot of incorrect information that's shared when it comes to the gallbladder. I had mine removed back in 1994, I believe it was. What does your gallbladder do, though? Probiotics definitely are good for anybody, gallbladder or not. So let's talk about what the gallbladder does. The gallbladder is a holding tank for bile. Your liver, let's go back to the liver again. We were just talking about liver health, right? Your liver makes your bile. The liver does so many jobs, friends. That's why we need our liver. So the liver makes the bile. And do you know that 70% of the gallstones actually are formed in the liver? Because that's where the bile is made. There's a duct that goes from, I will, here, hold on for a minute. I will. It was a corn silk tincture, and we'll go back to that. the liver makes the bile, and a lot of your gallstones are actually formed in the liver. There's a duct that comes from the liver to the gallbladder. Oh, hi, Sarah. Hi, Stacy. So many times those gallstones are formed there, and it goes into the gallbladder, and they call them gallstones, but that's just a holding tank. When they tested your bladder after, they said bile was about to block stuff. Oh, yeah. So the gallbladder is a holding tank. What does it do? There's a vagus nerve that goes from the area of your stomach up to the brain. When you're eating something that's anything, the brain lets the gallbladder know, let's just say you're eating a high-fat meal. Your brain is letting your gallbladder know, hey, this is high fat. Hey, this is protein. It then tells the gallbladder how much bile to release, because that's what bile does. Bile breaks down the proteins and fat. Bile also breaks down fat. So when you don't have that gallbladder to be the holding tank, your liver is still producing the bile. It doesn't stop. But there's no gatekeeper, the gallbladder, to determine how much is released based upon what your meal is, what you've consumed. So if you're having a regular trickle, basically, of bile coming from the liver now, right? So if you're eating something high fat, you don't have enough bile to break down that protein, to break down the fats. So with that being said, you really need to consume ox bile prior to eating, because that's going to help break down the proteins, break down the fats, because as time progresses, you might start seeing problems with regularity, maybe too much regularity, etc. So ox bile is very good. I've seen papaya, enzymes. It's just not enzymes, though. Okay, it may not be enough just to take an enzyme. You actually need that ox bile. That's the closest thing to what our body produces. So look at ox bile. But yeah, they don't usually tell you that. But that's a good maintenance moving forward, ox bile. Diverticulitis, you had also asked me about diverticulitis. Something, you got to watch your nuts, your diet. That's going to be the big thing. Your diet is going to be it. But also, slippery elm can help with that. Slippery elm has mucilage in it, which is a clear, slippery thing. I take it before every meal, Katek. Yeah, especially if it's fatty meal. That's the thing. Fatty meal. High protein meal. If you're a carnivore, you want to take it before the meal. No problem. But as far as the slippery elm goes, it has mucilage. Your best way to get that mucilage, though, is for something like that is going to be a tea, honestly. You want to do a cold brew tea. That mucilage produces better in a cold infusion, or you can just do right out of, filtered water, room temperature, and let it sit and infuse. Get yourself a little thing, put some slippery elm in here, just put it in a regular thing of water, let it sit there 12 hours or something like that, and you can then warm that water up. The reason I'm saying let it sit is you want that sliminess, right? That's what's going to coat your intestines and your stomach. It's good for ulcers also. So you want to get it slimy, and it does better with producing that in room temperature or cold. Once it's sat for that long, let's say it's in here, I then can warm this up. You don't want to boil it. You just want to warm it, and then you can drink it. Because who wants to drink cold, slimy water? It's called slippery elm. It also helps with IBS. It helps with Crohn's. I give it to my dog. He has IBS. That, with his diet and burdock every now and then, we don't have issues anymore. And his vet is, and I mentored with a naturopath doctor who is also a vet. He was a naturopath, but he was also a veterinarian herbalist. And so it's very good for humans can take it too. Yes, burdock's very good. So friends, what did we make today? This is a tincture of corn silk. I forgot what it was for a minute. It's corn silk. It is wonderful for urinary tract. We got a little bit of those. That nasty look. I missed it. See, it had the little brown on there. Just going to take that out. But corn silk is wonderful for kidney health, urinary tract infections. It is good for the urethra area too. If you have inflammation, you start feeling something coming on, take this. Also, if you don't have this, friends, get pure, non-sweetened cranberry juice. Lakewood is a wonderful brand. I stand behind them 100%. They are absolutely wonderful. They have 100% organic, non-sweetened, tons of different combinations, single juices. You can buy them online. I think they might even be on Amazon. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form. They even have pure aloe juice. They even have, like I said, concoctions, beaten turmeric. They have cranberry, but it's 100% natural because, sometimes we just don't have them cranberry bushes, trees out in our yard, and we can't do that. And if you go to the store, they're always adding something in there, that even coloring to make it look a pretty color. So cutting the amounts, adding something else to it, throwing some coloring in there, and you think you're getting 100%, and you're not. When taking herbs, do you have to rotate every 21 days with different herbs? No, I just take a break for a couple days a month. Whatever there's no rule. And you don't have to take different herbs. It's always good to do a reset. I guess that's the best way to say it. Do a reset. And that could be for you, because everybody's different. Just like dosages, a 250-pound man isn't going to take the same amount as a 120-pound woman. So dosages, you start out slow. Always do a patch test no matter what you're taking. I don't care if you buy it from me or not. Take a patch test, and I have that on my bottles. Do a patch test. Wait 24 hours. See if you have an allergic reaction. How many people, honestly, are taking slippery elm on a regular basis? Have you ever taken it? You don't know if you have allergic reaction to it or not, but you'd rather find out if you have an allergy by doing a skin test than to consume it and then find out you're allergic to it. So always, again, and I hope any other herbalists that you are following suggest to take a patch test, because that's a big thing. It really is. All right, I am out of my menstruum. It's a high proof alcohol. I always use 100 proof. Is that in Metamucil? I don't know. I've never looked at Metamucil. I apologize. I don't know. And I don't have it. I don't have it here to look at, so I'm not sure. You'll have to look at one of my pinned videos on my site, Lisa. Take a look at my apothecary. I have built my apothecary up many, many years, and I love my apothecary. I grow a lot of my herbs. Some of them I can't grow here. I live up north. The winters won't allow it. Unfortunately, I don't have the space inside my house to bring all these wonderful things in here. So I do have to procure and purchase a lot of them. I react to that horribly when giving to patients. What's that? What do you react horribly to? Metamucil? Yeah, there's, like I said, that, you know, we all have allergies, and we don't know really what our bodies are allergic to if you've never taken it. So please do a patch test first. And again, you'd rather see that occur on your skin. And again, wait 24 hours. It might not appear right away. You know, our bodies, let me give you a good example. I make a skincare oil. And again, I'm 57. I used to have really bad wrinkles, and I don't wear makeup. There's no filter on here. I look old today. It's been a busy few days because we're harvesting, and oh Lord. A good herb book. I would suggest David Hoffman. David Hoffman is a wonderful herbalist. Science with Nature, Science with Herbalism. I can't remember the exact name of the book. It's wonderful. Oh, thank you, Sarah. You're a girl after my own heart. Interrupting here really quick. I always put press and seal. You can use wax paper if you want. You can use a coffee filter if you would like. I like it because it molds down. It's easy to remove if you need to add any more alcohol. For example, in this situation, I need to add more. It's not filled to the top, and I do want it filled to the top, so I'm going to add more. But let's say I needed to add more herbs, or there was an herb I wanted to add and I didn't have any right now. It's not dried yet, whatever it may be. The alcohol doesn't happen all the time, but it can start to rust or disintegrate your lids, especially if they're metal aluminum. So putting that barrier in between is the best. And I reuse my lids, of course not when I'm canning. Those are always new lids. But this is our corn silk. You always want to label it. I always usually put an A because I do make glycerites also. This just lets me know it's alcohol. And then we're going to put today's date, which is 9/2/23. This will process for 6 weeks at a minimum. We'll strain it, and then we can bottle it. During this time of processing, you will want to shake it. And I also always turn it upside down. And I don't know if you can really see in there. See, not all of that is submerged under the alcohol. You don't want that. That is why I'm going to add more alcohol. All your plant matter needs to be submerged. Otherwise, you can experience bacteria, and you don't want that. What is your thoughts on, well, have fun, Mrs. Contrail. That's fun. What are my thoughts on apple cider vinegar? I love it. I make a fire cider right here. It has wonderful ingredients in it. It is spicy. I do put cayenne and jalapenos in here. That's why it's called fire cider, because those act as a vasodilator. They're going to open up your arteries and your veins. It's going to get your immune system going. That's what you were making? Cool. Yeah, I swear by fire cider. I've been preaching for years to people to take this. I take it daily. If I feel the onset of something, I take 2. I work at a hospital system. I'm around sick people. along with proper hygiene, washing your hands after, elevators, stairwells, holding on to rails, etc. Wash your hands. This keeps me well. I haven't been sick since 2021 with the flu, maybe. Might have even been like middle 2021. Anyway, it's been a long time. Fire cider, immune booster. It's good for you. Let me just tell you, I put everything but the kitchen sink in mine. This is fire cider. Fire cider, and we're going to talk about it. Immune boosting. It has in it, you ready? Sit down, relax, because it's got a lot. Has lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, jalapeno, horseradish, nori brown seaweed, research Okinawa, lowest cancer population in the world. They attribute that, based upon clinical studies, to nori brown seaweed. It's wonderful for you. This has brown seaweed in it. Turmeric, ginger, garlic, has black garlic in it, which has 2 times the amount of antioxidants than regular garlic. But this has both regular and black garlic. Has red onion, eucalyptus, mint, sage, rosemary, thyme. It has burdock root. It has mullein, lung support. Plantain, elderberries, cinnamon, clove, apples, lemongrass, lemon balm. It has ashwagandha, wild mountain Greek oregano. Wild mountain Greek oregano has the largest percentage of medicinal properties in comparison to other varieties of oregano. I grow this at my house. I actually ordered the seeds from Greece, and I order it, and it's phenomenal. Basil and apple cider vinegar. I do not add honey to this, but I do suggest people, when you get it, go ahead and add some honey to it. You don't want to buy the honey that I get from my friend who raises bees, because those bees have gathered the pollen from the trees and the flowers from my area. You want the honey from your area. It can help you with your allergies, sicknesses, immune boosting. So you want local honey. Don't go to the store and buy raw organic honey from the grocery store that's made in Florida and you live in Minnesota, or it's made in Kentucky and you live in California. It's not going to do you any good. I mean, it will do good, but it's not doing what you want it to do with those immune boosting properties from what's around you. I do have a shop, Sarah, and the link is in my bio. It's the first one there. It's Time to Heal, just like my name is spelled up here. Time to Heal. I have so many, and I make everything. Anything from skincare to hair oils to wellness. There's all sorts of things out there. Black garlic. There is a website, I can't remember the name, but it's something like blackgarlic.com, but you can get it there, and they were selling out, honestly. So yes, fire cider. I know, guys. I'm just going to put this out there. I know there are a lot of videos going on by some large creators, actually, stating that Barbara O'Neill said, Barbara O'Neill said that you should not take tinctures with alcohol, which tincture is made with alcohol. A glycerite is made with food grade glycerin. We shouldn't be calling a tincture made with glycerite a tincture. It's glycerite. My thoughts, don't agree with that at all. They have been making medicine out of ethanol for centuries. I don't know. I know she's a very religious young lady. I do love Barbara O'Neill. Don't get me wrong. I have learned a lot from Barbara O'Neill. but I don't agree with not using alcohol. And maybe religious values are coming in. I know I see other creators here on TikTok that don't use alcohol because of religious religion is the cancer of society. I believe in God. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but you do you. I mean, I'm not, that's your thing. Just like with Barbara Neal, that's her thing. I'm giving my opinion, which we are all entitled to, on using alcohol. I don't feel there's anything wrong. I'm not taking a bottle of a tincture and using it to get, you know, whatever with. I'm taking drops to droppers of tinctures, and it's not going to ruin a alcohol sobriety test and anything like that. Should we support our liver? Oh, of course. That's why I have the liver and lymphatic tincture. Do glycerites work? They do work. Are they as strong? Hell no, they're not. They're not going to pull out the high level of medicinal properties out of the herbs, you know. But to each their own. It's just amazing to me how people just follow the masses without thinking it through. You know, just think for ourselves, you know what I mean? But I think we solved that with the pandemic, you know what I mean? You know, another thing with the glycerite, you're going to have to take more. So if I'm selling a glycerite in a 2-ounce bottle, and I'm selling a tincture in a 2-ounce bottle, you may only need, let's say, I'm just saying hypothetically, 1 dropper of this, where you're going to need 2 droppers of the glycerite to get the same amount of medicinal properties. You're going to run out of this sooner than you're going to run out of the tincture because you've had to double your intake. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of things there, you know. You actually have a cold and you're taking some garlic and honey. Wonderful, wonderful. Throw some onion in there too. That's good too. Love it. Stop with religion. People like to see Jesus, not just hear it. Do I talk about my tinctures? If it's a single tincture, just 1 herb, it's $20. Everything's on sale right now on my site though, so it's only $15 now. If it's combination, meaning I'm using a lot of herbs to make 1 tincture, they're normally $30, but they're $25 right now. Let's see, somebody asked me, do I talk about binders? Binders and pills? Yeah, I have. The main one that I talk about is calcium carbonate, I think is what it is. They use in pills to bind it, and it's limestone. Go out and chew on your concrete driveways. And that's going to your liver. How soon you take you can actually start taking that like within 2 weeks, honestly. What do you know about lymphatic support? You had a TP. You had TB and a node. So lymphatic support, your best herb that has a personal love relationship with you is cleavers. Cleavers loves your lymphatic system. I have it in a tincture, which is called the lymph and liver tincture. I'm going to turn you guys around. Where is it? And I'm going to be honest, this flipping things around on camera messes with my brain. My brain just can't handle it. But it's called the lymph and liver tincture, lymph and liver tincture. I took 2 tinctures that I used to make separately, and I combined them in the one to make it more affordable for you guys. Yeah, I can't stand that. That's just, I don't like that mirror thing. It drives me nuts. The fire cider, you can get it on my website right now. Link is in my link tree. It's called timetoheal.net, but you can get it there. Fire cider, 8 ounces, a teaspoon, not even a tablespoon, a teaspoon. But I am going to say this. Add it to a little bit of water. Don't drink this straight, okay, guys? Don't drink it straight. That can ruin the enamel on your teeth. It could, over time, hurt your esophagus going straight. You know what I mean? Because apple cider vinegar, it's vinegar. And any vinegar, just not this. Any vinegar, you don't want to do that straight. So add it to a little bit of water. Or you can add it to your smoothie or whatever you want. Teaspoon. Let's see. Let me get on here. Lymphatic support. So, lymph and liver cleavers. I do have this. You can read all the ingredients on my website. It's good for liver and lymphatic system. You still need to get it. Couldn't find it the other day. It's down near the bottom. It is on there. It is. It's on there. Look under oils, too. I have categories. Look under oils. I already said about the fire cider. How much can you take of garlic, honey garlic, per day? There's really no limit. I mean, you're not going to eat like a bushel full, so, you know, it's not like you're going to make yourself sick. I don't know, 4 times a day, maybe? Eat a clove of garlic, you know? You can take the honey multiple times, the syrup that forms, you know. That's fine. And we just did a live the other day where I made a garlic and honey, and that's a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, and especially if you are cutting, when you make your honey garlic, by the way, I do want to say this, you need to cut it. Even if it's just cutting off the end, but you need to get the allicin production started. And the only way to get the allicin production started in a clove of garlic is to smash it, cut it, poke it, but you've got to disrupt that clove to get the allicin, because allicin is what's good for us. Same way with peppercorns, just dumping peppercorns in there. Okay, John, thank you, honey. I noticed you called, but I'm on a live. Sorry. If you want to try somewhere else, that's fine. I noticed he kept on trying to call me and I didn't answer because I was with you guys. Sorry, dear. Okay. How much can you take? But yeah, do I have a book or a pamphlet with recipes? I don't have recipes, but I do have something that may interest you. On my website, www.timetoheal.net, the very, very bottom, it is the very first product I put on my website. I have a spreadsheet that I've worked on for years. I mean, years. It has what the ailment is in one column. Arthritis, blood pressure, A to Z. It's 7 pages long. A lot of stuff on there. In the second column, it tells you what herb can help treat that corresponding ailment. It's $10. You have it on your phone. You have it on your laptop. It's downloadable right there on the website. It comes in very, very handy. Since I posted that, I have updated it because I continue to add information for myself too. Because one day I'm going to do a book with the recipes and what the herbs do, what herbs go good together. Also aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is wonderful for healing ailments also. I mean, you'd be amazed at, you know, what bergamot can help cure in your body by aromatherapy. Anyway, but yes, one day. But if you're interested in that, and I also have tons of videos on recipes. And if you catch my lives, I'm always making something. Should you put the honey, garlic, and onion in the fridge? You can leave it outside. Good. Good, good. That's good, Karma. Okay, John, honey, that's fine, babe. I haven't posted it yet, Sweet Pea, but I'll sure let you know. And of course, for when it does come out, if you're subscribed, I will give you a discount code. So it wouldn't be the $10. So if anyone is not subscribed to my website, please subscribe. I don't share discount codes out here on TikTok. I send those via email to my subscribers to my website. For example, right now we're having a buy two, get one free. I do random 10% offs. I also give classes for free. Those are done via Zoom, which we're not going to start those up again until fall. So if you're interested in herbalism, things that we've made before is make your own magnesium oil spray. Don't pay 20, 30 bucks out here on making your on a magnesium oil spray. Guys, you can do that. You can buy a bag of magnesium like this and make your own magnesium spray for the next 2 years. Magnesium flakes, magnesium chloride flakes. I use ancient minerals, but magnesium chloride flakes, oil of your choice. You can even use olive oil if you want, distilled water, and essential oils of your choice. That's all you need. And all you have to do is take your magnesium oil flakes. Let's pretend this is a little bowl, okay? You take a tablespoon, and let's say we're making a 4-ounce bottle. Okay, so we're not making a large bottle. We're just making a 4-ounce bottle. Take a tablespoon of your magnesium chloride flakes, put them in here. You add just a tiny bit of distilled water just to cover them. You take a spoon and you just dissolve them, okay? Once those magnesium chloride flakes are dissolved, you take that water and those dissolved magnesium flake mixture and you pour it into your 4-ounce bottle, okay? You're going to fill that bottle up 3/4 of the way with distilled water. Then you're going to add 15 drops of an oil of your choice. Olive oil, sweet almond oil, baboa oil, grapeseed oil, black seed oil, whatever oil you want. Add that 15 drops of that. Add your essential oils of your choice. That's all you can do. That's your recipe. Fill it the rest of the way up. Top it off with your distilled water. But I never fill it all the way up to the top because I want to add the oil and the essential oils. Once those are added, then I top it off. Shake it, spray it, put it under natural deodorant, spray it under your armpits, put it on the bottom of the soles of your feet. Now, it has the chloride in there. Chloride acts as a vasodilator, similar to. So if you notice that you're itchy, okay, that is that chloride opening up your pores so the magnesium can permeate down and penetrate your dermis epidermis. So what do? You can add more oil because that oil soothes that. It reduces that itchiness. It's not going to reduce the pores opening. It's just reducing the side effect of the itchiness. You can also put a layer of oil on before you spray it if you want to. It's entirely up to you. And guys, $30 for a bottle of magnesium oil spray? You can do it yourself. I am all about, and that's what I like to teach you guys. Yes, I sell tinctures, but I show you guys how to make them. It is more financially sound for you to make your own stuff. You will have more stock on your shelves to last you for a year, and that includes medicine. But some people don't want to do that. Some people are busy. Some people don't feel comfortable. It can get expensive to buy all the herbs. If you do not have the space to grow them, you don't want to grow them, you might live in an apartment building, you don't have, the yard to have a garden or anything. let's say you do have all those things and you do want to make them, but you're not sure, well, I don't know. You can try it with me. Buy the bottle. If it works, you've got the recipe. You know what herbs go in there. I have videos. I do live sharing you guys how to do things. Make them yourself, honestly. Do it. But if you don't want to, I'm here. Let's see here. I missed some things. You're quite welcome, Sharp. Blah, 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 blah. Is that on your website because you need it? You're trying to learn the best way to stay away from the doctor. Are you talking, Sarah, are you talking about that downloadable PDF with the illness and the herbs? Yes, that is on there. It's $10. It's the very, very bottom product. It's very, very bottom. Hi, little ducky. Well, thank you, Shark. I mean, why keep it all? Why keep all that information? You know, I mean, times are hard. You can't go to the, you know, what we, I don't even talk about the grocery store. That is so fucking aggravating. That's why I'm canning my green beans. We're freezing corn. I've got 12 bushels. No, not bushels, dozen. 12 dozen of corn to freeze. It is the same. It's Angie, ANJI _50. The link's in my bio. I missed the part of the conversation. Did I skip anything? No. Okay, no. Let me go to yours. You missed the part in the conversation. I personally, when I sell it, I do not add the honey. If you would like the honey added, I would suggest you do that if you buy it from me when you get it, because you want your own local honey, local raw honey. I'm in Ohio. If you're in Florida, you know, the same pollination, pollinators, etc. Let's think about that. Allergies. Boy, the ragweed's bad. Black. Man, the goldenrod's horrible. Well, you live in California where you don't have those things. The honey, those bees are going to the ragweed. They're going to the goldenrod, and they're getting that pollen. If I ingest a little bit of that honey from a local source every day, I'm building an immunity against those pollinators that have caused me an allergy in the past. So that's why you want local raw honey. You're quite welcome. User 7905. Great stuff. Yeah. Well, thank you. Let me see. Cachet. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you'll be getting an email from me next month. I only do like 1 or 2 emails. I don't bombard you. It costs me money to have to do it. Nothing's free. Because my website company, they only give me a certain amount of emails, so I don't bombard everybody. I only send something out when it's important. I love canning. My screen's frozen. Ooh. Am I still frozen? That's crazy, Cindy Lou. Great. Great. Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing your name. Well, thank you. God bless you too. We all need those blessings, don't we? We really do. Everybody's struggling with something. Everybody. Even if it's just worrying about somebody else. You know, not even talking about our health issues. It's in my link tree, Christine, my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be posting some stuff on there today. I've gotten kind of lazy about downloading my lives that I do on TikTok and posting them over on YouTube. I've gotten lazy, so I'm going to do that today. I'm also got, it's a good thing, it's a holiday weekend. to where we have a lot of days off because, like I said, we've got 12 dozen. This is only 1 dozen. I've got 12 more dozen. Not to mention, which John came up with this good corn. It takes it off, cuts it, uses a drill. He built this thing. So then we just have to bag it. It's pretty cool. Shirley, hi. What is a parasite cleanse? I don't make a parasite cleanse, but I can tell you a little bit about what a parasite cleanse is. So everybody, odds are 99% of people have parasites and they can wreak havoc in your body. Look up parasites on Google. You'll see there's hundreds of different parasites. And it's weird how they affect your body and can contribute to illnesses. So a parasite cleanse is using herbs that have clinical proven studies to kill the parasites. So then you take those herbs, usually in a form of a tincture. You can do a tea also by taking that, and it will kill those parasites. Now then, if you noticed, I didn't say remove them. It just kills them. The next thing you need to take is kind of what they call a binder, is removing those dead parasites, the eggs, the larvae from your body. And you can even use activated charcoal. So activated charcoal, and I'm just going to throw this out here right now. Everybody should actually have some activated charcoal around. It's good for animals, humans. Look. Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy. I missed your question about that earlier. Helps with gut, upset stomach, nausea, poisoning. You know, somebody, let's say a little kid gets a hold of some cigarettes or something. I know that's a bad example, but they eat mom and dad's cigarettes, toddler. Give some activated charcoal and water, excuse me. But it's a binder, helps remove them. Mushroom tincture, the mushroom 5. I don't know why I called it the mushroom 5, because originally I was just starting out, just going to have 5 mushrooms in there. But it has 7 mushrooms in there. A few of them I grow here. Turkey tail mushroom. Turkey tail mushroom is wonderful. It's great for cancer fighting. It loves to eat up those bad cells. It loves to help our army of white blood cells. That's the type of binder. Oh, okay, Jenny, sorry. Diatomaceous earth, I think it will do its job, but maybe not to the extent that it should. So it's kind of, sort of. Ginger is good for nausea. Mint also. Turkey tail's great for cancer fighting. It's good for immune boosting. It's also good for weight loss, some people say. I love it more for the immune boosting and for the cancer fighting properties of it. I really feel turkey tail's really good on that level. It also has lion's mane in it. Lion's mane is really good for your brain health, the brain fog, being on top of your game, you know. It's also a cancer fighter. Lion's mane's wonderful, and it's one of my favorites because it's so cool looking. It kind of looks like a brain. It also has cordyceps mushrooms, and I don't have any fresh that are growing right now. I have some that are drying out from my last harvest, but cordyceps mushrooms are good for energy, stamina. Athletes use it for energy, and it's not, you don't get a quick spike. It's an even energy throughout the day. It's not like caffeine where woo, then all of a sudden you're going down. It's an even filter of supply of energy. I love it, especially when I'm having to go in the office because those days are pretty busy. And with the Mushroom 5, I'm on point. I can multitask. I don't feel like, what was I doing? You know what I mean? It also has reishi mushrooms, which are wonderful for overall wellness. They're also cancer fighters. Most mushrooms are. It has shiitake, maitake. Those are good for your skin, your overall well-being. It has chaga mushrooms in it. Did I forget anything? Did I have all 7? I think I did. So it kind of is a quick overview of what the mushrooms are good for. So it's a good immunity, energy, brain health. Also, lion's mane's been done in testings for Alzheimer's and dementia. It's very good. Fulvic acid. I know Zuma Nutrition has a fulvic acid. I've never taken it. I don't really mess around with it. When I've done a parasite cleanse, I use activated charcoal. It's doing the same thing, you know. Well, it depends on the age of your little one, honey. So I don't really have enough information. Need to know if she's on any medication or anything like that. But here's something you can research. Elecampane tea is very good for a dry cough. It helps, it's like an antispasmodic, so you don't get that trigger of a non-productive cough. So elecampane is good. If you have a honey that you can make, you can take, hold on, let me get mine. We've got all kinds of stuff coming you guys this way. If you're not following me, please follow me, because either here, YouTube, I post some stuff on Instagram, but not as much. I show you guys, especially this time of year, on how to have things in your household that you can make to help wellness, preventative things, keep your immune system up. Yes, Shirley, yes. Yesterday we did a Korean lemon chung. What is it? You actually take organic lemons. If you're a diabetic, you wouldn't want to do this. But you take organic lemons, you cut them as thin as you can get. You want to make sure that you take the seeds out, so you see the thinness. You want to take the seeds out. Make sure you wash them. Use baking soda to wash them if you can. If they have a wax on the outer covering skin, use salt. Scrub off that wax. Once they are entirely clean, cut them as thin as you can. On a 1-to-1 ratio, so 1 cup, and it depends the size of your jar, how much you're going to use. I can't give you, hey, this is how much you need. Based upon the size of your jar, because it's going to be different sizes, right? A 1-to-1 ratio. You would want 1 part, let's say we're doing cups, 1 cup of your very slimly sized, seedless, cleaned lemon to 1 cup of cane organic sugar. You don't want a processed sugar that they have things in it. So you want a natural sugar. Honey is not going to really give you what we're looking for. So those are the only 2 ingredients. That's it. Just sugar and lemons. We did this yesterday. Do you see all that liquid? This is on the outside, by the way. It was a sticker. But do you see that liquid in there? You can give that to your kids. It's good for cough. It's good for just wellness. You can use this and make a simple syrup, add it to some tea. You could, whatever you want, but it's healthy, it's natural, and it's easy to make. Things that are easily accessible to you guys that can help your family during the times of illness. So use your imagination on how you could use that. Like I said, you can make a lemonade out of it. You could put it in a tea. You could mix some nasty tasting medicine you want your kids to take. You know, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Plus, it's beneficial. High in vitamin C. All right, so honeys. You would mention honeys. My favorite honey, which I don't know if kids would like this, is turmeric, ginger, clove, cinnamon, and cayenne pepper. I add this when I'm starting to feel a little bit of raspiness getting into the lungs. The cayenne is a vasodilator. It's going to open those bronchial tubes. I like to add this to my teas. You know, get a good Mullein tea. Add this to it. You've got the Mullein, which is a lung support. You've got this with the cayenne, etc. Very good for you. And you can even eat the ginger. You can eat the little pieces in here if you wanted to. The next thing that we made, and I made small amounts just as a live to show everybody how to make it, so you can make large quantities. I just did tiny jelly jars. This is the ginger, and I chopped up red onion. Red onions has stronger medicinal properties, so so this was honey. That's all I did was the garlic and the onion. You see how thin that honey's gotten? That's because it has produced like a cough syrup. So you can use this, and it's usually ready, fully ready. This looks fully ready, but I usually wait 2 weeks after you make it to use it. So you could also add whatever you want into this. If you want to add crush some elderberries and put some elderberries. This is a honey. Did you see the first one I showed, Char? The first one I showed is, this is my favorite. Okay, all right, you already saw that one. This one is garlic and onion. I used red onion. It's higher in medicinal properties. You can make a larger one, and you also, because of the garlic, you need to burp it. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it popped. But you just need, ooh, and it, just that little bit, I smelled that garlic and onion in that. But while it's processing every day, you need to burp it because it's going to gases, I guess you want to call it. But I just made this day before yesterday, and it's already turned into a very thin liquid syrup like a cough syrup. But that's it. Red onion, garlic. Make sure you disrupt your clove of garlic. If you put a whole garlic on there, even if you just, you know how garlic has the root into it, just at least chop that off. You need to disrupt the clove to get the allicin production. Plus, having a whole, who's going to really eat a whole clove? Not too many, unless you love it. I can't do a whole clove. I usually even cut mine in half just because I could maybe sneak it in with the grandkids or something, or, you know, I just want a half a clove. Plus, again, I'm going to go back to the allicin. You need to disrupt the clove to activate the allicin. So, honey, onion, easy, long term. It'll sit on the shelf. You can put it in the refrigerator too if you like. If it gives you the heebie-jeebies on having honey sitting out, you know, on your counter, put it in the refrigerator. That's fine. Now, keep in mind, it may thicken up a little bit more though because it's in the refrigerator because it's lower temperature. This last one, guys, you can do what you want with honey. Put whatever you want. This one is a chamomile and cranberry. I had dried some cranberries. I ground them up for the vitamin C. That's in here, and I put chamomile. flowers in here because they're calming. I make a lavender one also, just a lavender honey. The sky's the limit when it comes to honey, and you can do it. I usually dry my, like I said, this was dried cranberry. It's dried chamomile flowers. I usually use dry lavender. On these, they're fresh. They're not dried. But, yeah, the sky's the limit. We were talking earlier about apple cider vinegar. Fermented foods. Somebody said probiotics. 100% right. Guys, this is fermented vegetables, fruits, herbs. Fermented foods. That's another reason why I don't agree with Barbara O'Neill in saying we shouldn't consume apple cider vinegar. I just don't agree with that at all. Fermented foods are wonderful. They're natural probiotics. I don't agree with that at all. She's great. I've learned a lot from her, but I just don't, I can't jump on that bandwagon. I'm going to, she doesn't always know best. I don't agree with that. Nobody knows everything, you know. You could use lavender leaves, yeah. Yep, you sure can. I don't agree with the apple cider vinegar at all. I don't agree with, yeah, I don't get it. Well, we shouldn't eat sauerkraut? It's vinegar. You believe it burns the lining of your stomach? Do you know what's in your stomach already, honey? So let me explain something to you. Your stomach contains one of the highest acids in the world. It's called hydrochloric acid. It's stronger than apple cider vinegar. It's not going to burn the inside lining. I understand that. I know that happens to some. You don't take apple cider vinegar straight. Not at all. It will burn your esophagus. The same way when you get heartburn, that hydrochloric acid is coming up. Yep. Well, hydrochloric acid, do your research, Google it. It's more acidic than apple cider vinegar. So therefore, it's not burning it. You may have, I don't know what's going on, tell you the truth, but it's not going to burn the inside of your lining of your stomach. Yeah, I don't know what it is, or why it aggravates. Maybe you have an allergy to it. I don't know. But apple cider vinegar is not going to eat the lining of your stomach. It could, Aria, because the fermentation process, the vinegar is the last step before alcohol. It very well could be. I don't know. But I don't believe it's bad for us at all. Yeah, it's probably not for everybody else, It really is. It's to each their own. And like I said, it just aggravates you, but it's, to your point, your comment though, I do want to say it's not going to disrupt the lining because your hydrochloric acid in your stomach is going to burn your stomach lining up before that would at all. Yeah, because it would help you lose weight, but you just can't. There are other herbs, which this has been on my list to make for years. A weight loss tea. I don't believe, in my humble opinion, doing a tincture for weight loss isn't going to work. It would have to be a tea that carries those herbs and that medicine and the herbs into the stomach. I don't want something to stop at the liver level. I want it actually to hit the stomach. But there are a lot of herbs that have been shown in clinical studies to stop. And as we can see, Angie could benefit from those, losing weight. So I have the herbs. I just got to get my ass in gear. I've been just kind of focusing on other things that I need to work on that. Let's see. You started counting carbs when you got in your 50s. You gained 20 pounds. Weight's a bitch, man. I swear to God, losing weight is a bitch. I have resigned myself to the fact that, and I've done low carb, and it worked for me. I lost 50 pounds a few years ago on it. And it comes back with a vengeance if you don't make it a lifestyle change forever. And of course I didn't, and it came back with a vengeance, and you gain it back, you know. And it's hard. It is hard, but low carb does work for me. But I have resigned myself to this fact, and it is the God's honest truth. I need to move more. I need to exercise more. I need to get off my ass. I need to do things. But I don't sit around a lot. My job requires me to sit a lot. I'm in the car driving an hour and 20 minutes one way. There's 3 hours knocked out that I'm on my fat ass driving. Just listen to me. I'm talking so bad about myself. I shouldn't. You've had to make a yes. And it's not... Yes, it's a lifestyle change. It's feeling better. It's becoming healthy. And it's my metabolism. And the only way, there's not anything that's going to, you know, speed up that metabolism to the point that, you know, woo, we're just going. It's exercise. I know this. I know all the things. I know the science behind it. I know. And we all do. You don't need me to preach at you about it. I don't need you to preach at. We're all smart. We're intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Intermittent fasting is great. Good for you, Cindy Lou Who. Well, thank you, Bonnie. One day at a time is right. Yes. Yes. It's hard. You broke your ankle. I'm so sorry about that. Hey, truck girl. I'm so sorry you broke your ankle. If you happen to have comfrey and bone set around, make yourself a nice poultice out of it, you know, and set it on that area, and it'll help speed up your recovery time. And if you think about it, bone set got its name for a reason. It does work. Honest to goodness, just a poultice. And it's good healing, period. I have a video where I made a poultice with comfrey, had plantain in it also. I don't know if I put bone set in it or not, but it was for a wound I had or something, and it healed up within 24 hours. Did I miss any questions? Did I miss anything for anybody? Just a recap, guys. We talked about the honeys. Everybody on TikTok's doing a honey. They are. Add, you know, the garlic honey. Throw you some red onion in there. You know, ramp that honey up. Don't, you know. If you can withstand some cayenne too, add some cayenne. I put cayenne with my ginger and my turmeric and my clove and my cinnamon. Because when you feel that congestion, that cayenne's a vasodilator. It's going to help open that up. You know what I mean? You know, what you have a problem, even the sinuses, it's going to help those sinuses too. By the way, I do have a kick-ass bronchial tincture on my website. I also have it in glycerite form, if you like the glycerite. But it has everything but the kitchen sink. I included herbs in there for every symptom you may have, down to having a bellyache, a tummy ache. We put some catnip in there. Sinus, herbs for the sinus, the lungs, the cough, full packed. And you know what? It'll do that. Just put it by, not on a heat source, but maybe if you can set it by your stove, or if it was near the stove, you got to move it away from heat, and it will crystallize. But that's the wonderful thing about honey. It'll go back to its natural state if you change the environment, what it was in. Sour honey, where can you get it? I've never heard of sour honey. I never heard of that. You mean just like lemon honey or something like that? You're welcome, Jen. Love you too. Good morning, mostly a name. You're catching me when I'm jumping off. Bummer drag. All right, so honeys, okay? Make them easy peasy. Get you just some small jars if you don't want a big one. It's all right. Whatever works for you, okay? There's no rhyme or reason. The only thing that I want to tell you when it comes to that garlic, disrupt the clove. Either cut one end of it, cut it in half, smash the damn thing. You want the allicin. Allicin is only activated by disrupting the clove, okay? You got to do that. Add some red onion to your clove. Ramp it up. Make yourself some relaxing ones. Chamomile, lavender, whatever you want. Sky's the limit when it comes to it. We also did a Korean chung the other day, lemon chung. This is easy. 2 ingredients is all you need. You can give this to kids. You can use it in teas. You can give it by a teaspoon to help with coughing. Add it to some nasty tasting medicine that you're trying to get somebody to get. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Remember Mary Poppins? All right. Mary Poppins would have loved this. You just clean your lemons as clean as you can get. Baking soda. Soak in baking soda water. If there's a wax film, take you some salt. Scrub that wax off of there. Thinly slice your onion, your lemon, as thin as you can get it. Remove the seeds. 1 cup, and I'm just giving you a 1-to-1 ratio. Depending on the size of your jar, you may need more. 1 cup of lemon to 1 cup of cane organic sugar. That's all you need. I put them in a bowl and mix the sugar and the lemons together so they're coated. Put some gloves on, mix them all up. Lay those lemons in here. Any extra sugar that's in that bowl, put it on top there. This was done, I think, yesterday? We did this yesterday. We've already got liquid in here. See it? Very healthy, very good. You can Google it. There's recipes out there. C-H-U-N-G. Korean lemon chung. You can do it with oranges. You can do it with grapefruit. I like the oranges. Excuse me, the lemons. But you could do both. You could do a mixture. It's up to you. We did a corn silk tincture today. Do you need to stir it up or just let it sit? I just let it sit. I put this, remember we did this yesterday? I just let that sit in my hutch and got it out just a few minutes ago. Now, I did shake it earlier today. Just one of those. That was it. Today we did a corn silk tincture. You want only the good parts of your corn silk. You want organic corn, friends. Nothing's been sprayed with pesticides, additives, nothing like that. Talk to who you're buying it from. Ask them what they use. If they are organic farmer, they're going to be proud of it. They're going to be more than happy to share. If they hesitate, you got to kind of question it. Because being organic, it's something to be proud of. So, here's corn silk. I didn't have enough menstruum to do a larger batch, so we just did a quart jar. But here's what you do. You've got your corn silk. You do not want the yucky areas. So you just basically cut the yucky areas off and discard them. You don't need them. You can cut it down if you want to fit it in there. So let's just say something like this. It's very thin. You really don't have to cut it down for more surface area. I did in my quart jar because, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of anal like that and just wanted it all in there. But you don't have to. It's not a necessity, but you just want you don't want that brown top husk part. And you had yourself your high-proof menstruum. I've got to add more to this because I didn't have enough. It's only down to up to the first lip with alcohol, but I ran out. What is this good for? This is good for urinary tract infections. It's good for a fatty liver. It is good for bladder infections. It is good for your urethra. It's good for prostate. It also helps with blood pressure. It helps with cholesterol. It's just good. If you are, here is the ding, 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 ding. If you are on blood thinners, do not take it. It is a corn silk tincture, corn silk. If you are on blood thinners, do not take this. This is a blood clotter, okay? You do not want to take this. So if you, again, if you're on blood thinners, warfarin, Coumadin, Eliquis, anything like that, do not take a corn silk tincture because it's a blood clotter. Vitamin K, remember, you got to watch your vitamin K intake. Watch my channel, Sarah. I've got videos. It's very, very easy. I do lives and I show you guys how to make them. We talk about the phytochemistry of herbs, on how much ethanol is needed to pull out the medicinal properties. Some herbs and plants need higher, some need lower. Get yourself some good books. Look at an author by the name of David Hoffman. He's wonderful. He's very scientific, but he brings it down to layman's terms for you also. And he has some recipes in his book. What's the liquid in the... It's 100 proof vodka. I prefer vodka, and I usually use 100 proof, unless, like I was just saying, something needed a higher, let's say an Everclear, a 95% alcohol by volume, or maybe lower, other things need lowers. But normally I just use 100 proof. Why? Because it's 50% alcohol, ethanol, and it's 50% water. They put distilled water. They have to use distilled water to make the alcohol. So it's 50-50 at 100 proof. The higher the proof, those percentages change. The lower the proof, those percentages change. But you don't have to use vodka. You can use brandy. You can use whiskey. You can use tequila if you want. I just find alcohol on it's just more reasonably priced, one reason. And you have the different levels of alcohol by volume too. So follow me, and there's some tips there on how to get started. To be an herbalist, you don't need to get your certification, guys. You really don't. By law, you don't need to. It is a good thing to do, though. I would encourage anyone. I'm glad I did. I did mine online through Cornell University. There are other herbalists here on TikTok that give classes. I have pondered around doing classes. Most of the stuff I share with you guys free. But I have thought about getting deeper into a study program, providing things, etc., etc. But that would be a lot of work. Well, definitely, is it Josie? Josie, yes. Follow and hi. Thanks for joining. I share a lot. I have recipes on my TikTok. I do lives. I have my YouTube. As winter's coming, I have my website, which is linked in my link tree. Please follow me. Subscribe to my website, because as fall comes around, I get through this harvest season and get done canning and making things, being a little bit more self-reliable, not depending on grocery stores and things like that, doing all that stuff. We are going to get back to doing Zoom meetings. That's more interactive. You guys can ask me questions instead of me having to read something, and we can talk to each other. We can do it together. Zoom meetings, I love. The bad thing about the Zoom meetings, I'm not going to lie, is that I'm limited because I don't pay extra for the Plus Zoom. What I have to do is I have to do one meeting for 30 minutes, take a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, which is good. Gives everybody a chance to refill their drink, go to the bathroom, whatever. And then we start another one and pick up where we left off. We kind of have an intermission. So we're going to start the Zoom meetings again in the fall. And the only way to be able to get that Zoom meeting information, like the ID, the password, would be to have to, thank you, Sweet Pea, to be subscribed to the website so that you are sent an email with that specific information. You could add it to your calendar and you could participate. In that email, I would also share with you what ingredients you may need to make a heart health tincture. What ingredients do I need to make a liver support tincture? I'm going to show you how to make a glyceride. This is what you need to make a glyceride. And we would do a Zoom meeting and I would show you in that. Tag you. You have a pumpkin patch. Sorry if I can watch. A pumpkin. I don't know what a pumpkin patch is. I wouldn't be able to tag you on my website. But, I would be doing videos here saying, hey friends, we're going to be doing a Zoom meeting. So that would give you, I'd say, go to my website, and I don't have set times for lives either. And I know TikTok is horrible about sending out notifications. I know my customers get very upset. They're like, we didn't know you were on a live. It varies. It's early morning now. Weekends, it might be a couple times a day. Through the weeknights. This isn't my full-time job, though, too. So just an FYI, I work a full-time job. I work for Ohio State University. I work a full-timer. And this is hard stuff, This is something I had planned to do when I retired, and I started it a little bit early, and I'm glad I did. Well, good. I'm glad you do. Yeah, I know a couple people have said they don't get the notifications. Well, good. I'm glad you're here, too. 7905. Jenny, who can I... 86. I was going to make a song out of your number, but that's more than my brain can comprehend and think through right now. All right. Remember, we put the tinctures in here. Make sure you take your tinctures every day. It's okay if you take alcohol tinctures, guys, as long as you're medically allowed to. It's okay. It's not gonna F you up. You're all right. And you are more than allowed to take apple cider vinegar and eat fermented foods like sauerkraut and drink kombucha. Those things are okay. You can have a SCOBY and make your own. Do you guys know what a SCOBY is? Do you want to see a SCOBY? I've got one that's forming. I can show you one that's already formed, and I can show you one that's forming. Do you want to see? Are you interested? If not, I won't worry. Let me go get my toys. I get so weird about the weirdest things. Just tell me I'm weird. All right, let me put my other toys back. I'll be right back. Ooh, I sat too long. You getting ready to go to work?
No, I don't today.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, Sunday and Monday.
Oh, I'm on live right now, by the way. All right, we gotta get two different vessels here, so give me a minute to get the other one. Okay. We'll show you this, and then I've got people who want to get into the kitchen and stuff, and I don't want them to feel like they can't, do anything. All right, hold on. I need to wash my hands. So these are living things. These are little organisms. These have to have the perfect environment. So a SCOBY is basically a bunch of enzymes. This is the bologna. So how I got this is I was going to make a peach natural soda pop. It had distilled water in it. It had peaches that were getting ready to go bad. And I put some sugar in there. Well, the environment was perfect. And it formed a SCOBY. You see it has a little bit of the... Oh, I might be getting a second one. I sure am. See, it's going to come apart, but we're going to let it do it on its own. So this one is already formed. This is Dino. I named him. My grandfather's name was Dino, nickname. They called him Dino. Oh, how sad. But what's the purpose of a SCOBY? Well, you know your environment's been perfect to make apple cider vinegar. You could take the SCOBY if you wanted to and make you some black tea and let that black tea sit in a jar and go ahead and, that's cool. And very vinegary because it's in a vinegar environment. But you can have black tea, let that black tea seep, and then add a SCOBY to it, and you will actually get a kombucha. You could add fruits to it, things like that, and you're making a kombucha because the SCOBY is the mother. You know how Bragg's apple cider vinegar has the mother? That's the mother. It's the SCOBY. Nothing, secretive, patented, or anything like that. So this is one that's already formed. And we're just letting him hang out. Dino's in there. He likes his environment. This would grow bigger if I had put him into a larger jar, which I've considered doing, and continue to, add more peaches, add more sugar, add more distilled water, get the surface, going, that SCOBY would grow. And they multiply. They have little babies. As you saw, they kind of spread apart, but they're wonderful. You can make all sorts of things with SCOBYs. All right, so that's the one that's already made. Let's look at, I make my own apple cider vinegar. And you can do this too. This is a fermentation lid, because just like with Dino, we had cheesecloth, okay? This is just a fermentation lid, different. You can buy these on Amazon. I could have just had cheesecloth on here if I wanted to. All right. Do you see that right there? Whoops. All right, sorry. Do you see that? That's a SCOBY forming right there. Let me set you back up here. Sorry about that. So I actually can pick that up. Well, it's awfully thin. I'm just going to rip it. It hasn't gotten the acquired thickness to it yet. I can't see what you guys see. See it? We're just going to push that back down under. All right, one other thing I wanted to show you. It's pretty neat how this starts. Yeah, you might not be able to see it on camera. But it gets like these little tentacles on the bottom of it that kind of like hanging down. I think you might see one right there. The light's in the way. But eventually all those little tentacles join together and they make Dino. It will look like Dino. Now then, Dino actually separated before, and I put some of Dino in here. He's at the bottom. Dino's baby is at the bottom laying here. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see. See the other SCOBY down at the bottom? So let me tell you how you can get a SCOBY really quick. What you do is you use distilled water. You get you some apples. They don't have to be beautiful apples. They can just be apples that are getting ready to go bad. Cut that bad, smushy stuff off of it. Cut them up. You can have the seeds in there. Apple peel is fine, whatever. Cut them up, put them in there. Put some distilled water in here. You want distilled. It will not be a good environment. You will not have apple cider vinegar. And it definitely will never get a SCOBY if you do not use distilled water. So, or at least boil your water. Okay, you need purified water. So you just water the apples and put you some sugar in there. You can put, depending on your size of vessel, this was a gallon. I believe did I use any sugar? I think I used a couple tablespoons of sugar in here. But I also added a little bit of Bragg's apple cider vinegar because it has the mother to accelerate the apple cider vinegar process. And within days, it had already started. So you can just take a little bit of apple cider vinegar with your apples, your distilled water, a little bit of sugar, and it's going. You can make your own apple cider vinegar. Do you know how expensive Bragg's is? This isn't ready yet. That's why John had to go get me some Bragg's, because I'm making 5 gallons of wellness cider without the hot peppers and stuff. But yeah, you can make your own. And then the mother. Add the mother to other things. I could take Dino, do this setup with the apples and the distilled water, put Dino in there, not even put Bragg's apple cider vinegar in there because I already got a mother. So then, you know, you've got it. I know it's almost 30 bucks. It's ridiculous. This at the grocery store, a gallon? Yeah, 30 bucks. It's ridiculous. And you can make it yourself. Buy a little jar of Bragg's apple cider vinegar. You know? You bathe with them? That's pretty cool. I never thought of that. I don't take all the baths, though. But that's cool. Anyways, friends, I wanted to show you that. Follow me if you haven't followed me. Please subscribe to my website, even just for notifications on educational purposes, etc. Doing Zooms and making stuff, you know. Check out my shop too. Got a sale going on. If you buy something and you find it works for you, I share the recipes. You can make it yourself. All right, friends. And I am going to show you guys how to can. We're going to do more in-depth canning probably this weekend. I'll be doing videos. I've got to clear out. I'm running out of space on my phone. I got to clear out videos. All right, friends. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining. Thanks for the likes, the gifts. You guys lift me up. You really do. Thank you. Share all my videos too. Let's get it out there so that I can get more people on my website. I would love it. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Simply Energy. Nice name. Bye-bye.